We are doing right now chapter 4, that is e-commerce and e-governance. First we'll understand what is e-commerce. E-commerce stands for electronic commerce. What is a commerce? Commerce is nothing but buying and selling of goods. That we do a normal trading. But electronic commerce has been started uh, more in the year 1999 because of the internet. When internet started for the commercial use, electronic commerce became possible in 1991 when the internet was open to commercial use. Because of the internet, electronic commerce got started. Now electronic commerce is means that is normal buying and selling of good, but through electronic medium, and that has to be powered by internet. That means electronic commerce can be broadly defined as the process of buying and selling of goods or service using an electronic medium such as internet. Now electronic commerce involves paperless exchange. All the communication happens to like through email and through EDI. All the automated transaction of purchases and invoice has been done through EDI, and of course digital currency get transferred. So it's also called as paperless exchange of information. So electronic commerce is also referred as a paperless exchange of business information using EDI, email, electronic fund transfer, etc. Now based on this fill in the blanks here, it is O here, this theory answer has been generated. Here is the Phillips. Now based on this Phillips, the theory answer here I had made it. Now I'll just go through with the Phillips also. E-commerce stands for dash. Dash is nothing but buying and selling of goods. Dash became possible in 1991 when the internet was open to commercial use. Dash can be broadly defined as the paperless as the process of buying and selling of goods or service using an electronic medium such as internet. Dash is also referred as a paperless exchange of business information using EDI, email, electronic fund transfer, etc. So here is the fill in the blanks. You all can copy it by pausing the video. Now based on this fill in the blanks, the same fill in the blanks, true or false has been generated. So you all can copy the true or false also by pausing the video. Now based on the same fill in the blanks, MCQ also has been generated. So by studying fill in the blanks, you are learning true or false, MCQ, theory answer, MCQ 2 choices, MCQ 3 choices, and of course match the following also. So you can copy this also. You can copy multiple choice 3 correct answer. This is also has been generated from the Phillips, and match the following. And this theory answer right now, firstly we have discussed what is e-commerce. You can copy this also. Now we are going to the question number 2 that I will discuss with you. Now difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce. Now traditional commerce is basically exchange in product and service through personal interaction, how we go into shop and buy the goods. But electronic commerce, all the transaction is happening online and automated. We browse to the website, then we add the cart, all the shopping goods in my cart, and then we do the payment, then it gets confirmed, then it goes to the logistic department, and then finally we receive the goods. So everything is automated and all the work is being done by software. Traditional commerce, it limited to business hours. 9 to 6 is my business hours, 8 to 8 is my business hours. But whereas in electronic commerce, it is 24/7. I can shop anytime at any day. Now as far as the consumer interaction is there, in traditional commerce face to face interaction is there. We go in the shop, we buy the goods, so face to face communication is there. In electronic commerce, it has been termed as screen. You can do through any of the platform, voice platform or video platform, where screen communication face to face interaction is there. Traditional commerce works in the local area, but in the electronic commerce there is no physical limitation. You can work throughout the city, throughout the state, anywhere, any part of the globe. So there is no physical limitation is there. People can come in your website from any part of the world. In traditional commerce, the mode of payment is cash, check, credit cards. But in electronic commerce, all modes of payment is there: bank transfer, credit card, e-wallet, mobile payment, and any more. Even cash on delivery option is also there. Now goods and delivery services, instead you pay the bill and you get the goods immediately. In electronic commerce you have to follow the process. It confirms with the stock department, then it goes to the logistic department, and then you the goods has been delivered. Traditional commerce, the scope is local in that particular area, but in electronic commerce the scope is global throughout the globe. So this is the difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce. Now from this fill-ups, it starts from fill up the blanks number 6, okay, till the end. This theory answer has been generated, that is difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce. Now Dash focuses on the exchange of products and service through personal interactions, so it is manual. Dash trading activities are online via the internet and can be considered automatic. Dash is limited to business hours, mostly during the day. Dash is 24/7, it can be done any time, day and night. As far as the consumer interactions are concerned, Dash provides face-to-face interaction. Dash can be termed as screen-to-face interaction. Dash is limited to a particular geographic location. Dash is global and has no physical limitation. Modes of payment in Dash include cash, checks and credit cards. In Dash, modes of payments are bank transfer, credit cards, e-wallet, mobile payment and many more. Goods and delivery of service is instant with Dash. In Dash, delivery of goods or service takes some time. Dash scope is local, Dash scope is global. Now based on this, fill in the blanks. True or false has been generated, so you all can copy this. Same fill in the blanks and multiple choice question is there, so you all can copy this also. Multiple choice 3 correct answer also is there. And here match the following, and here is the theory answer. Difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce, that we have discussed. Now we are going on to the question number 3. State the advantages and disadvantages of the e-commerce. So first we'll go to the advantages. In electronic commerce, okay, the seller can go with a global reach. I can sell my product any part of the globe. Now electronic commerce also reduces the paperwork and significantly lower down the transaction cost everywhere, okay. Through EDI, automated transaction has been happening. Email communication is there, digital communication is there, EDI is there. Electronic commerce enables the use of credit cards, debit cards, smart cards, electronic fund transfer via bank website. This is the option, okay, you can use, okay, through electronic commerce. Electronic commerce, okay, we can compare from many of the website. If I wanted to buy a particular product, I can compare to Flipkart, Snapdeal, Amazon. So the various e-commerce platform is there, so I can compare and then I can purchase the product. Now electronic commerce, as like in rural areas also, electronic commerce is been there, okay, because of the internet. Now electronic commerce, one other advantages is the convenience. I can shop 24/7. Electronic commerce, okay, allows the customer and the business to be in touch directly without any intermediaries. I can purchase directly from the, okay, company, so no middleman is there, so it saves the cost also. Now electronic commerce helps the government to deliver public service. We had seen the Setu app also. In education platform also, electronic commerce has been used. There are various education platform, okay, where teacher can communicate the lecture also over here. Now in electronic commerce, now these are the, I think, disadvantage has been like started for the electronic commerce, the hardware and the software, and we need to provide, okay, the training how to use the electronic platform to the employee, and continuous update and maintenance are also quite expensive in electronic commerce. This is the disadvantage. Lack of personal touch. Now I cannot touch and feel the product also in electronic commerce. This is one of the like disadvantages, okay. In the website, okay, the product has been shown to me and it got delivered, okay, it was the different product, so you cannot touch and feel the product also. Security is one of the concern. Now some of the unknown websites are there, in that they put some attractive offer, buy one get for free, but that website is not authentic. When we put all our bank details and we lose our all money, So security is also one of the concern. In electronic commerce, okay, sometimes okay the fulfillment of order, sometimes the server get crashed down, and what happens, okay, the order gets okay mixed up. I ordered something and I got deliver something. So this is the advantages and disadvantages of the electronic commerce. Now I'll see the fill in the blanks also. Dash provides the seller with a global reach. Dash reduces the paperwork and significantly lowers the transaction cost. Dash enables the use of credit cards, debit cards, smart cards, electronic fund transfer via bank website. Dash application provides user with more option to compare and select the cheaper and better option. Dash has enabled rural area to access public services and products where otherwise not available to them. Dash another great advantage is the convenience. A customer can shop 24 by 7. Dash also allows the customer and the banks to be in touch directly without any intermediaries. Dash helps the government to deliver public service such as healthcare, education, social service at a reduced cost. In Dash, the setup of the hardware and the software, the training cost of the employees, the constant maintenance and upkeep are all quite expensive. In Dash, lack of personal touch can be disadvantage for many types of services and products like interior designing or the jewelry business. In Dash, security is another area of concern. In Dash, some problems with fulfillment of order even after the order is placed. There can be problem with shipping, delivery, mix-up, etc. Now, based on that fill in the blanks, this is either true or false. Multiple choice question, single choice. Then you have answer briefly that I have discussed with you all. State the advantages and disadvantages of electronic commerce. Now we are going to another question, that is question number 4. Discuss the types of e-commerce. Now first type of the type is that is business to consumer, then business to business, then we have consumer to consumer, then we have consumer to business. B2C stands for that is business to consumer. Business to consumer model business sells its product directly to a consumer, such as the website are there, Grufo is there, Big Basket is there, where directly business sell the product to its consumer. Business to business model sell its product to an intermediate buyer who then sells the product to the final consumer. So business to business sell to its intermediate buyer and then we can purchase from that intermediate buyer. The example of for business to business is Alibaba.com, IndiaMart.com. Consumer to consumer model helps the consumer to sell their assets like residential property, cars, motorcycles or rent a room. For example, 99acres.com, magicbricks.com, then quicker.com. These are the website, okay, helps consumer to sell their residential property, cars, motorcycles or rent a room. Now consumer to business model, consumer have product or service or value that can be consumed by businesses. Mostly social media networking website, okay, follows the consumer to business model. So these are the okay types of e-commerce, that is business to consumer, business to business, consumer to consumer and consumer to business. Here are the fill-ups. From the fill-ups theory answer has been generated that I have discussed with you. Full form of B2C is business to consumer. In business to consumer model, business sells its product directly to a consumer customer. B2B stands for dash model, business sells its product to an intermediate buyer who then sells the product to the final customer. C2C stands for dash. In dash model, consumer helps consumer to sell their asset like residential property, cars, motorcycles, etc. or rent a room. C2B stands for dash. In dash model, consumer have products or service of value that can be consumed by businesses. Here, true or false. Then we have multiple choice question, single choice. Then match the following. Now I have discussed, okay, with you all, discuss the type of e-commerce. Now we are moving to the other question, that is discuss the trade cycle of e-commerce. A trade cycle, what is exactly a trade cycle? It's the series of exchange, okay, between the customer and a supplier, and that take place when a commercial exchange is executed. In trade cycle, what is happening, okay, first you need to search, then negotiate. After negotiating, you can execute your order, then the order gets delivered, then you have to settle, okay, you have to do the payment against the invoices, and then the after sales. So a trade cycle is the series of exchange between a customer and supplier that take place when a commercial exchange is executed. Now trade cycle also consists of two steps. First you need to search and then negotiate. Then the execution phase consists of order and delivery. Settlement phase consists of invoice, if any, and payment. And after sales phase consists of warranty and after sales service. So this is the trade cycle of e-commerce. Now coming back to our fill-ups, a dash is the series of exchange between a customer and a supplier that take place when a commercial exchange is executed. Dash consists of two steps like search and negotiate. Dash phase consists of order and delivery. Dash phase consists of invoice, if any, and payment. Dash phase consists of warranty and after sales service. Here is the true or false. Here is the multiple choice question. Here is the multiple choice 2 correct answer, and the match the following. And the theory answer I have discussed. Now we are going to the other theory question, that is discuss the mode of payment. Now the mode of payment, okay, in e-commerce is credit card, mobile payment, bank transfer, and electronic wallet. Credit card is the most common way to pay. Now some of the website, okay, they put the payment link, okay, so you have to click on that link, okay, and that will be providing the access, okay, to pay through credit card. Now the company has a website, same website they had made, okay, a mobile app also, so it looks same as a website, so you can pay through mobile payment also, and in the e-commerce websites. Now mobile payment is most probably being used in games, in donation portals, in social media. You can pay through bank transfer also, and electronic wallet, okay, where you can store all your payment information. So through electronic wallet also you can pay. So credit card are the most common way for customer to pay online. Merchant can reach out to an international market with credit card by integrating a payment gateway into their website. Mobile payment offers also a quick solution for customer to purchase on e-commerce website. Mobile payment are also common use on donation portals, browser games, and social media networks. Bank transfer also is used when money is sent from one bank account to another. Electronic wallet is a type of electronic card which is used for transaction made online through a computer or a smartphone. Electronic wallet is a type of prepaid account in which a user can store money for any future online transactions. Now fill in the blanks. Dash are the most common way for customers to pay online. Merchants can reach out to an international market with Dash by integrating a payment gateway into their business. Dash offer a quick solution for customer to purchase on e-commerce website. Dash are commonly used on donation portals, browsers, game, and social media payment. Dash is used when money is sent from one bank account to another. Dash is a type of electronic card which is used for transaction made online through a computer or a smartphone. Dash is a type of prepaid account in which a user can store money for any future online transaction. Here it is true or false. Multiple choice question, single choice. Match the following. Discuss the mode of payment that we have discussed right now, theory answer. Now we are going to the another question, that is state the form of e-commerce. Now mostly it's mobile commerce and social commerce. Now first we'll understand, okay, what is mobile commerce. any transaction is happening or wireless through smartphone or tablet. All the transaction is being used, okay, online shopping can be used, okay, in mobile commerce, but the condition it has to be without a desktop computer. Now some of the application of mobile commerce that is been used, okay, mobile commerce is been used mostly for mobile banking, for ticket booking that we had seen in IRCT CTC website. You can pay e-bill, okay, through like Paytm. You can pay your electricity bill, mobile bill, okay, all the bill, okay, can be paid. Online auction is not much popular in India. Stock market trading also you can do through mobile app. Now social commerce involves, okay, all the social media website, all the social interaction. The social media website, okay, is such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, okay. Nowadays, okay, we are using, okay, WhatsApp status also to buy and sell of the goods. Now the success of the social commerce is being measured by a degree to which consumer interacts with the company marketing through retweets, okay, I'm tweeting it again, like shares. Now state the form of e-commerce. Mobile commerce is the buying and selling of goods and service through wireless handheld device such as smartphones and tablets. So it has to be wireless device, okay, you can use any smartphone and tablets. As far as a form of e-commerce, mobile commerce enables user to access online shopping platform without needing to use a desktop computer. Now I don't have to use a desktop computer, it has to be a wireless any handheld device such as smartphone and tablet. Some of the application of mobile commerce are mobile banking. Nowadays mobile banking is very much popular. You can transfer the payment instantly using a mobile banking. You can book a ticket, as I told you there are various website, okay, Make My Trip, okay, Paytm, you can book a ticket, IRCTC, e-bill payment, online auction, stock market trading, and so on. Social commerce is a form of electronic commerce that involves social media, online media, and supports social interaction. In social commerce, you can do a social interaction. You can buy and sell goods also through a social commerce. Is the use of networking websites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as vehicle to promote and sell products and service. Nowadays, WhatsApp status also has been a good platform to sell your products and service. The success of social commerce campaign is measured by the degree to which consumer interacts with the company's marketing through retweets, likes, and shares. You can like the video, you can dislike the video, you can share the video. So these are the form of e-commerce. Dash is the buying and selling of goods, and this is the Phillips of that question. Dash is the buying and selling of goods and service through wireless handheld device such as smartphones and tablet. As form of e-commerce, Dash enables user to access online shopping platform without needing to use a desktop computer. Some of the application of Dash are mobile banking, ticket booking, e-bill payment, online auction, stock marketing, etc. Dash is a form of electronic commerce that involves social media, online media that supports social interaction. Dash is the use of networking websites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as vehicle to promote and sell products and service. The success of a Dash campaign is measured by the degree to which consumer interacts with the company marketing through retweets, likes, and shares. Here is the true or false. Multiple choice question single. Multiple choice 2 correct answer. Multiple choice 3 correct answer. Match the following. And here is the theory answer. State the form of e-commerce. Now another question, that is EDI. Explain EDI. EDI stands for electronic data interchange. EDI is the electronic data interchange is the electronic exchange of business communication using a standardized format. That means what? For example, I am manufacturing a car. In a car I need a 4 tire. So for 400 tires I can manufacture 100 tire. So I had set, okay, a minimum point of level. As soon as it reaches to 100 tire, in that I can manufacture 25 car. Automatically my order of the tires will go to my supplier. So through electronic data interchange, it goes like automatically the order gets executed through my supplier, and then supplier sends the bill, okay, to my accounting department. through that invoice, okay, the payment has been made. So all the system, okay, through EDI is automated, where paper has not been used. It has been done, okay, through the software of EDI. So paper EDI is also called as a paperless exchange of information, where everything has been done through the software. I have to just set, okay, a minimum point of level. So in that, what will happen, as soon as my inventory reach to a minimum point of level, the order gets executed. So in my organization, I will never get, okay, a shortage of stock, and never I will have, okay, excess of stock, because of the electronic data interchange. So many business documents can be exchanged using EDI. Two most common documents are always purchase order and invoices. So this is the beauty of electronic data interchange. EDI stands for dash, electronic data interchange. Dash is the electronic exchange of business information using a standardized format. Many business documents can be exchanged using dash. Two most common documents are purchase order and invoice. Here is the true or false. Multiple choice question, single choice. Multiple choice, two correct answer, and the match the following. Answer briefly explain EDI. Now the other question is, discuss e-governance in details. E-governance means electronic governance, where no paper is involved. Everything is being done electronically. Now the basic purpose of electronic governance is to simplify all the process. Simplify means it delivers smart government, simple, model, accessible, responsive, transparent government. Now e-governance works, okay, through various channels such as government to citizen, government to business, government to government, and government to employee. Now how does it works? Now government to citizens means a citizen can do everything electronically, such as license renewal, and they can pay tax also. Now government to business means it simplifies the business, okay, it helps the business in exchanging the service between government and business sector. Now what it happens, okay, it save for the business, it saves, okay, like it eliminates all the paperwork, it saves time, and it reduces the cost also. The most important, it saves the time. Now in government to government, what happens, okay, it works, okay, with all the government to government sectors, government agencies, and so on. And government to government, it works, okay, at domestic level, it works at local, and it works as a in international level also. Now government to employee is the internal part of the government sector. It helps, okay, to make everything between government to employee transparent, okay, they can review their salary online, they can check, okay, how much payment record is, salary payment record is there, how much, okay, the balance holiday, and so on is there. So it just simplify the process, okay, between government employee, government institute, and their management. So this is the government e-governments in detail. I'll just go through again. The purpose of electronic governance is to simplify process of all. Simplify process means it delivers smart government, simple, model, accessible, responsive, transparent government. G2C stands for government to citizen. The government to citizen refers to the government service which enables citizen to get access to wide variety of public service. Many services like license renewal and paying tax are essential in government to citizen. Government to business, G2B stands for government to business. The government to business is the exchange of series between government and business organization. Government to business provides access to relevant forms need to comply. You can check out all in the government portal. Government to business also consists of many services exchange between businesses, sectors, and government. Government to business aims at eliminating all the paperwork, saving time, cost, and establish transparency in the business environment while interacting with government. Government to government stands, G2G stands for government to government. The government to government refers to the interaction between government, department, organization, and agency. In government to government, government agencies can share the same database using online communication. Government to government service can be at local level or international level. Government to government provides safe and secure interrelationship between domestic or foreign government. G2E stands for government to employee. The government to employee is the internal part of government to government sector. Government to employee aim to bring employee together and improvise knowledge sharing. Government to employee provides online facility to the employee like applying for leave, reviewing salary payment record and checking the balance of holiday. The government to employee sector provides human resource training and development. Government to employee is also the relationship between employee, government, institution and their management. Here is the fill-ups, okay, based on the theory question, that is discuss e-governance in detail. The basic purpose of Dash is to simplify process for all. Dash delivers smart government that is simple, moral, accessible, responsive, transparent government. G2C stands for Dash. The Dash refers to the government service which enables citizens to get access to wide variety of public service. Many services like license renewal and paying tax are essential in Dash. G2B stands for Dash. The Dash is the exchange of service between government and business organization. Dash provide access to relevant forms need to comply. The Dash also consists of many services exchanged between business sector and government. Dash aims at eliminating paperwork, saving time, cost and establishment, transparency in the business environment while interacting with government. G2G stands for Dash. The Dash refers to interaction between government, department, organization and agencies. In Dash, government agencies can share the same database using online communication. Dash services can be at local level or at the international level. Dash provides safe and secure interrelationship between domestic or foreign government. G2E stands for Dash. The Dash is the internal part of G2G sector. Dash aims to bring employees together and improvise knowledge sharing. Dash provides online facilities to the employee like applying for leave, reviewing salary payment record and checking the balance of holiday. In Dash, sector provides human resources training and development. Dash is also the relationship between employee, government, institution and their management. Some effective example of successful implementation. Yeah, this is not there. So this is missing in the theory answer. Yeah. Some effective of successful implementation of e-governance project are, these are the e-governance projects such as e-Mitra project, e-Seva project, Andhra Pradesh and CET Common Entrance Test. This is the some of the project of the e-governance. Here is the true or false. Here is the multiple choice question. Multiple choice, 2 correct answers. Three correct answers. Here is the theory answer. This point is missing. Point number 22. Now we are doing the another. This is the last theory answer, that is explain security measure in e-commerce. Now e-commerce provides all the principle and the safety guidelines. Now it starts okay with the encryption. Now what is actually an encryption? Now encryption converts plain text into a ciphertext. Now plain text means it can be read, it is in a readable form. Now what is ciphertext? Ciphertext is in a coded data, that means that data is unreadable form, you cannot read the data. Now why this encryption process happens? Now I am sending a data that is a readable form, but if I encrypt that data becomes unreadable form. Now in between, if anyone hacks the data, that person gets the data that is encrypted data, means that data is unreadable form. So that data for him it is of no use, because that data is a ciphertext. Ciphertext means that data is unreadable form, that data is in a coded form. So if anyone in between tries to hack the data, that data will be in an unreadable form. That's why a data has to be encrypted. So in between anyone hacks the data, for that person that data will be is of no use. Now how to make that unreadable data into a readable data? So that is the process of decryption. So decryption is the exactly opposite process of encryption. It converts that unreadable data into a plain text. Now what do you mean by unreadable data? Unreadable data in the technical word is a ciphertext. So decryption converts ciphertext into a plain text. Now a digital signature is also known as electronic signature. Now why we apply a digital signature? That means it guarantees the authenticity of a electronic record. That means that digital signature has a electronic password. An electronic password is then applied through a digital certificate. And digital signature is being used in e-commerce, in software distribution, in financial transaction. Okay. Now public key infrastructure, that is being used of public key and private key. Okay, that is the concept of encryption and decryption. And digital certificate is nothing but your electronic password that you apply, okay, when you exchange the data. And because of the digital signature, okay, it provides the authenticity of your data. So this is the security measure in e-commerce. Now electronic commerce security refers to the principle which guides safe electronic transaction. Now to make the transaction safe, we apply encryption. Encryption is widely used on the internet to protect user information being sent between a browser and a server. Through browser we send, okay, and it goes through a server and then finally reach to the person who intends to reach it. Encryption converts plain text readable form of data into a ciphertext. Coded form of data means a non-readable form of data that I had explained you how it converts, okay, from a plain text into a random text that is unreadable form. Decryption is exactly opposite process of encryption. It converts ciphertext into a plain text. Unreadable data, it gets converted into a readable data, that is ciphertext into a plain text. A digital signature is also known as electronic signature. A digital signature guarantees the authenticity of an electronic document. Digital signatures are used in e-commerce, software distribution, financial transaction. PKI stands for public key infrastructure. A digital certificate is known as electronic password that we keep it, that allows a person, organization to exchange data securely over the internet. Digital certificate is also known as a public key certificate or an identity certificate. Here is the Phillips dash security alerts to the principle which guides safe electronic transaction. Dash is widely used on internet to protect user information being sent between a browser and a server. Dash converts plain text readable form of data into a ciphertext. Coded form of data means non-readable form of data. Dash is exactly opposite to process of encryption. It converts ciphertext into a plain text. Dash is of two types: symmetric share and asymmetric public key encryption. A dash is also known as electronic signature. Dash guarantees the authenticity of an electronic documents. Dash are used in e-commerce, software distribution, financial transaction. PKI stands for dash. Dash is an electronic password that allows a person, organization to exchange data securely over the internet. Dash is also known as public key certificate or identity certificate. Here is the true or false. One of the thing is missing, that was this in the theory part, I think. Here is the true or false. And here multiple choice single. Multiple choice 2 correct. This is 3 correct. Match the following and the theory answer. So in this way we have completed the chapter. So in this chapter, okay, there are total 10 theory questions. I'll just do a recap of everything. The first is what is e-commerce. We have to understand what is e-commerce. Then we have to understand what is the traditional commerce and e-commerce. And then we have to know what will be the advantages and disadvantages of e-commerce. First we are learning what is e-commerce. Then we are understanding the difference between the traditional commerce and e-commerce, advantages and disadvantages of e-commerce, and what are the different types of e-commerce, trade cycle of e-commerce, how the business cycle of e-commerce works, that is trade cycle, and which are the mode of payment we can use, and what are the various form of e-commerce, what is electronic data interchange, then e-governance in detail, and then the security part, that is security measures in e-commerce. So this chapter is very easy. There are total 10 theory answers, and that theory also has been made from the fill in the blanks. So learn the fill in the blanks thoroughly, and you will be go through with the chapter very easily and very smoothly. However, if you have any query, you can always ask me. Thank you very much.